Check, check. Cassava Sciences longs. Cassava Sciences longs. Are you guys there? Well, I hope so, because this is going to be juicy. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel once again. This is your friend Abhishek, but not a financial advisor, and here I am once again for you guys with another really juicy breakthrough Cassava Sciences stock update video. So like I said in my last Cassava Sciences stock update video, that if I would get more than 50 or 60 comments requesting for my personal opinion on the Cassava Sciences earnings and conference call, then I would definitely take some time out from my busy schedule for you guys to make an update video on Cassava Sciences. So I did get a lot of comments, and those comments were amazing. These comments and this love from you guys is overwhelming, and I definitely don't want this to stop because this is something which really keeps you motivated, and that's what I'm here for you guys, to bring some updates for not just Cassava Sciences, for all other stocks in the stock market which I think are undervalued or which might bring some value to you guys. And this is not a financial advice, but whatever I give here is from my personal experience and the knowledge, the limited knowledge which I have, and I just want to help you guys out. That's all. Okay, so here I am once again for you guys. Let's do this, and let's do this for you guys. Okay, so without further ado, let's get right into it. Okay, so for the ease of understanding and to keep it simple, I have jotted down some important key points from the conference call, which are not my interpretations and are the direct words from the conference call from either Rick Berry or James Kupik. And I have mentioned these points, and later I would give you guys my personal opinion and the price target which I think could be achieved by Cassava Sciences stock. Now I know that the price is not where you guys expect, but I'm making this video on 17th of August, but on 16th of August, the last trading day, which was Friday, the stock price was quite good. It maintained its position, and it's trading around $29 or so. So it's not that bad, of course, guys. And later in this video, you guys would see what are my predictions, what are my stock price predictions. Okay, so let's get on to it. So here we are on Cassava Sciences earnings update and some key points from the conference call and my analysis. So the first slide says, and the first key point from the conference call is phase 3 will read out statistically significant. Okay, so here Rick Berry said, we remain optimistic about the results of these trials. We think they are well powered to demonstrate a statistically significant difference between the drug and the placebo arm. So this is quite important. The second point is demand for simufilum. There is an overwhelming need for Alzheimer's patients to have a drug that has the profile that simufilum has displayed so far in its development. We cannot let patients and their loved ones down. This is what he said. And in the brackets, I just put some extra piece of information which is quite important, and this is a really big bullish thing which we should not forget. And this should be mentioned in every conference call, I guess, and I believe. So this is a pill solution, guys. This is a pill solution. It's not an infusion drug where you have to go and wait for hours and hours in the hospital and get it done, okay? Just take it at home. That's all. And that's why this is quite a bullish thing for this drug and the industry. Yeah, biopharma industry. But anyways, so the third key point is plan for Cassava's successful transition from a development stage company to a commercial enterprise. And this is quite a bullish statement, which we will also cover further in this video. But this was the headline, and now I have put some of the words from my side as well. So Rick has helped SRPT, Sarepta Therapeutics, as we know, and he has done this by being involved in the company for 15 years, and now SRPT is ramping up their gene therapy product, and they are already predicting a cash flow, and you can see that in 2024, 2025 and 2026. And why I'm mentioning this, because Rick is someone who has already bought one drug to the finish line, and these are the expertise which we needed. Remy Barbier, no doubt, was an amazing person, but he was more of a person involved in the science. Yeah, he did not know how the face of the company should look like, and how for example, the fireside chat was a disaster. And these are the things for which you need business expertise and an expert who has been involved in other companies as well, and bring that company to a successful stage. And this is what Rick is doing right now, and we need that. as investors. The fourth point is SEC nearly done looking for future. So for those who did not read or were not aware about the most important and the bullish point in my opinion, which was the part of this conference call, was that they are expecting a $40 million SEC settlement. So this is the expectation, guys. This is a keyword, expectation. And why it's important for the stock price, we will cover that in a moment further in this video. But for now, we know that a $40 million has been reserved by the company, kept aside for the SEC settlement. And this is important because here they say this means that now we have enough information to understand what our exposure could be if we do come to a resolution with the SEC that will end their investigation on the company. And why this is important? Because now their goal is to put the past behind and focus entirely on the mission for developing a best-in-class treatment for Alzheimer's patients. And this is important, guys, to put the past behind. Now they are not fighting for this anymore. So the shorts, of course, are using this as, let's say, a defeat. Yeah, they say, okay, Cassava Sciences gave up and now they think that something was wrong and therefore they were taking the case back and filing for a settlement. But that's not the case. Every time when you bend down and say sorry to someone, it doesn't have to be your fault. This is maturity. This is what they needed. And this is what I also have mentioned previously in my video, that yes, fighting is good. Fighting against short sellers is good. But up to a certain point when you don't see the results are coming in, sometimes, yes, you have to keep fighting. I'm not denying that. But sometimes there is a way out of that fight to see a better future. So sometimes just backing up is a much more mature decision and a much more profitable decision for your future. So one step back could help you to move 10 steps forward. And this is why I am now more bullish on Cassava Sciences. Again, guys, I have to clarify this again and again, that I am not a pumper. I will not take a negative news and transform it into a positive news. If something is negative, that's negative. If something is positive, I'll be happy to read out that information to you guys. This, in my opinion, is positive. If the short sellers tells you otherwise, they are wrong about it. This is a much more mature decision, which I expected from Rick Barry as the interim CEO. Okay, so now let's move on to the fifth point, which is again a much more important point, which have been discussed again and again in my videos as well, which is quite a bullish sign, which is insider bias. And here Rick Barry says, as a reminder, several of us inside the company converted all or a portion of our warrants into stock, including me. I converted every warrant that was available to me. Suffice it to say that we are believers. And this information was also actually being used by short sellers in a negative way, where they were saying that why the insiders are not buying when the stock plummeted to $10 and what is happening. This is the point. If they really believed in the company, they could have bought it. But we are forgetting that there was a blackout period, and there still is, because there is no decision yet from SEC or DOJ. There is no clarification. There is no green flag from them. And until and unless we do have a settlement, the insiders have a blackout period, so they cannot buy. But the short sellers, as they are, want to spread out misinformation and not to believe or not to understand the actual information intentionally, so that they can spread the fear out and shake the tree out. And anyways, so moving on. So this is the direct picture from the 10Q report, so you guys can have a look by yourself. So this is the 10Q, which was released on August 8, I guess, and this is the page 39. So over 555 patients have completed the 52-week rethink, and 420 have completed 76-week refocus. We anticipate top-line data readout for our 52-week study by the end of 2024, and we anticipate top-line data readout for 76-week study approximately mid-year 2025. So for those who were asking me this question, when is the final readout expected? So here is your answer: mid-year 2025, August, June, July, August, one of these 3 months. Now, the important part is, in July 2024, we submitted to FDA for a review, a statistical analysis plan, SAP. Why is this important? One sec. And this will be analyzed by independent biostatisticians. Now, to answer why this is important, the short sellers might use this information again in a negative way, and they might say that unblinding might be done or might repeat, which happened with Dr. Wang's case. And I mentioned this in my previous video as well with Matt. Actually, Matt clarified it that Matt Nacktrap clarified it that this could be this could have happened because of the laboratory standards. Yeah, so it's normal that this unblinding is happening in many other times as well, not just in case of Cassava Sciences, but of course short sellers had to use only this piece of information. Yeah, so now there's no chance that this will happen because this will be done strictly under FDA guidance, and everything will be documented and finalized prior to the unblinding of an efficacy outcome. So if the short sellers are telling you otherwise, just take them to the 10Q and show them page number 39. Okay, that's why this is important, which I wanted to cover for you guys in this video as well. Now, again, from 10Q report, page 40. This is amazing, guys. This is amazing. Okay, expansion of our science to other indications. Now, many times it has been said that there are no companies in the stock market, and that's true. That's true. I would agree with the short sellers in this case, that there is no company in the stock market, a pharmaceutical company who has only one drug and has a market cap of $50 billion or $100 billion. There is no company like that. You guys can also research for yourself and prove me if I'm wrong. But in my personal opinion and according to my research, I haven't found any pharmaceutical company in the stock market who has just one drug. Yeah, but this is the information which we could show to the short sellers. So, protein misfolds occur in a wide variety of biological processes and diseases. We may leverage our scientific insights in neurodegeneration and neuroinflammation, advanced tools in molecular biology, biochemistry, and imaging to expand our science to other diseases. New indications and new drug development approaches may complement our initial focus on Alzheimer's disease. So for now, they are only focused on Alzheimer's disease, but the protein misfold is found out in a wide variety of other biological processes which relates to other diseases as well. And that's why they could use this science for other drugs in the pipeline. And this resolves our fear of the company having just one drug. But preclinical programs are always visionary, sometimes innovative, and often of high biomedical potential. By definition, such programs are exploratory and risky. Okay, most preclinical programs fail for scientific or other reasons, regardless of the amount of effort or resources that are brought to bear. For these reasons, we do not intend to disclose our preclinical programs until they become material to our pipeline of product candidates. So they cannot disclose this right now, but this actually helps our fear of Cassava Sciences having just one drug for Alzheimer's. I know that the need for this drug is amazingly high, and I have seen a lot of models on Twitter as well, from Matt Nacktrap, from Joe Springer as well, that the market cap could reach even $1 trillion. And no offense, but I don't agree with those models. And really, what Matt has done is just put some numbers which are logical, to be honest, but I don't think the market would value those companies in that way. Okay, our theoretical numbers might be whatever we think according to our assumptions and according to the market insight, but in my personal opinion, that's a long way to go. Long way to go. So the TAM, yes, might increase. So in one of the videos, I said that the TAM is limited, but now I could correct myself that yes, TAM might increase depending upon the rethink results and depending upon the price at which the Simuflim could be commercialized. I do take my words back that yes, the TAM might increase and that might take the stock price to the next level, but I still think that more than $200 or $300 billion is not that achievable. Please don't pass on hate to me, but that's my personal opinion. I could be wrong. I would be happy to be wrong, to be honest, but in my personal opinion, I don't think the market would value the drug, the company at this price with just one drug for now, okay, unless the pipeline is declared. So now moving on to some other juicy parts. Some more information highlights. We expect our last patient last visit in our rethink trial in early Q4 and a top-line readout of the data by year-end. We also expect our second phase 3 trial refocused readout in the mid-year. We remain optimistic about the results of these trials. We think they are well-powered to demonstrate statistically significant difference between the drug and placebo arms. But investors should keep in mind, No one can correctly forecast the results of any trial. There are, of course, no guarantees. Of course, they had to say this and to protect the investors so that we can make our own decisions. That's normal, okay? It's not a negative point, but it's something which I have mentioned a lot of times, that we guys have to take the risk factor into consideration. There are no fundamentals in this company. The only reason why we are invested is based on the rethink readouts. If the rethink readouts are not good, we will get onto that in a moment, then we know that the stock price will be heavily attacked, and this is what the short sellers are actually waiting for. Okay, so anyways, this is something which we should keep in our minds, that this is a risky investment for sure. Okay, second point, Cassava raised $123 million. The funds that we raised from the program significantly strengthened our balance sheet, which is quite important. If we have to talk about the finances, balance sheets for such companies are really important, because this will lead us to believe if there will be dilution or not in the future, or they want to take some loans or credit from the banks at high interest rates. So this is quite important. Okay, and here we are safe. But in the coming months, you will see others. You will notice an uptick in our R&D spending. This is important. During the second half of the year, some of that increased spending will be devoted to the preparation for the commercial launch. Here is the big news of our drug. We are currently ramping up our active pharmaceutical ingredient purchases, securing increased outsourced manufacturing capacity, and exploring distribution capabilities. There's a reason why I have highlighted this in yellow. This is huge. What this means is they are so damn confident that they're already planning or exploring the distribution capabilities. I mean, this is something which is really bullish in my opinion. We have to plan for Cassava's successful transition from a development stage company to a commercial enterprise. And this is what I mentioned before, and I said that I will get onto that in a moment. And this is what I mean, is that they are confident. They are doing this, and outsourcing manufacturing capacity means that somewhere they do believe that this is gonna be a success. And this, in my opinion, guys, is bullish. Really bullish. I don't know how this statement could be manipulated by the short attackers, and I don't think they can actually, to be honest. And this is the point which really like took me yeah, this sigh of relief. This was really a bullish point. Okay, I cannot stop talking about this, but okay, we have to move on. So point number 4, I should add, this is a Rick Berry statement. I should add that we are continuing to have constructive conversations with both SEC and Department of Justice. There really isn't more we can say about this now. Please remember that if short sellers or the short attackers are saying otherwise, that why they are not coming out and saying something about this, it's legal. It's legal stuff, guys. They are dealing with legalities. They are dealing with government bodies. They cannot say just anything and come out there. Okay, there are some legal restrictions which they have to follow, but we hope to be able to do so before long. We are not taking a charge of this magnitude lightly. Please remember that $40 million is an awful lot amount of money for anyone, let alone a company of our size. And he's right, this is huge amount. Yeah, but it is our goal to put our past behind us and focus entirely on our mission, developing a best-in-class treatment for Alzheimer's patients. And I repeated this but because this is quite important, and this is quite important for the stock price as well, and why we will get onto that in a moment as well. But please remember this, guys, that for such a company, $40 million is no joke, and short sellers are really attacking. I saw a lot of comments, and where short sellers are right, I would agree to them, but here they are absolutely wrong in my opinion. $40 million settlement has nothing to do that Cassava Sciences is agreeing that the short sellers were right and they are wrong. It has nothing to do with the right and wrong. All it has to do is with the future of Cassava Sciences. If there will be no SEC involvement, no DOJ involvement, then only they can go in for partnerships, or let's say distributions, or institutional, they can convince institutions to buy in, and this is what they have to really do, and this has nothing to do with accepting a defeat. Moving on. Now here comes the juicy part, which you guys were asking me. So what are my thoughts on Cassava Sciences stock price targets? Okay. Now, stock price this year, in my personal opinion, the stock price might hit $50 before the readouts. Don't climb on me, okay? After readouts, considering 90% success rate, and if rethink shows statistically significance for mild, only for mild and not for moderate, and not for the total, therefore only mild and not moderate, and not for the total group, then the share price might be $150 worth the evaluation. Yeah, I do believe that. Second case, rethink shows mild patients not declining and in fact improving, which I do believe would happen, and in fact improving on cognition score, therefore better than the placebo arm, but moderates still not significant. I'm not considering moderates to have any significant improvement whatsoever. It might happen, but I'm being more conservative. Then with the short squeeze, then including the short squeeze, because short sellers have not yet started to cover. Whatever stock price action spikes you're experiencing has nothing to do with the covers. Short sellers are not covering yet. Remember that. They have not even started yet. They are still borrowing it. In fact, the borrow rate has increased and the number of shares to borrow is 0 right now. So I don't know how many naked shares are still available, but anyways. So yeah, in that case, if the short squeeze happens, then SAVA could squeeze to $500 to $600. This is my price target. If the rethink results are good, that means the improvement in the cognition score for the mild patients, not the moderate, and short squeeze happens. Yes, $500 to $600 would happen, in my personal opinion. There's a high chance, 80 to 90% probability of this happening is there. Now, the third point, I think this conference call was super amazing, first of all, and considering some of the bullish statements from Rick and James. So this is what I wanted to clarify as well. Now, when I was making this presentation, the stock price was plummeting after the conference call. Now, why it was plummeting, and I do think that this could happen again, is first of all, we won't have any news except the SEC settlement before the readouts. So after the SEC settlement, the stock price could shoot up to $50, $60, let's say. But after that, we would have around 1 month or so of no news, 1 month or 2 months, in fact, of no news. And this could be not so good for the stock price because there will be not any news. Yeah. And like we said, that there will not be any interim results readout. There won't be any news of partnerships before the rethink. So there won't be any news. There won't be any catalyst for the stock price to move higher and higher. So there might be some short attack after that. Please be ready for that. And that's the reason why I think shorts are not covering it. Another reason might be that there could be something still remaining by the short sellers. There could be something up their sleeves, which they haven't used it yet. But anyways, so that is a chance either for a short squeeze. So we should not expect any rise in the price until the SEC settlement news. Like I said, that is the chance either for a short squeeze, which I doubt, or price rise just based on the news and removing government risk from the investments and more institutional buying. So this will of course remove the government risk involvement, the SEC settlement. Of course, we won't have the DOJ decision, but still that removes plenty of risk when the settlement is done. Now the point 5, but after that we might again see sell the news event. So with the SEC settlement, we might see a rise, but then again we might see sell the news, which happened after the conference call, to be honest. Yeah. So if the shorts don't cover, or if there are no large investors jumping in, because no positive catalyst means no movement or even drop because of the short pressure. So just to summarize all of this, okay? So after the rethink, like I said, $500 to $600 if the rethink results are really good. Before the rethink, I think $50 after the SEC settlement. But after the SEC settlement, we might have sell the news event. So from 50 to it might come to $30. So $30 would be the new support level. And then it could fluctuate between $30 and $50 before the rethink. So this is my personal opinion on the stock price events and the stock price targets. Now, The last slide is that why I say that sell the news might happen, because this is what I predicted on August 5th. And this is the tweet which I mentioned on August 5th, that sell the news might happen. And on August 9th, it happened and the stock price plummeted again 10 to 20%. So the selling pressure is there, guys. It's still there. And like I said, shorts have not started yet to cover, because like I said, there might be something up their sleeves which they are still waiting for. Maybe another indictment. I don't know. I cannot predict that, but there is something why they are not covering yet. There could be an event where they have to cover to reduce the losses, which is the SEC settlement. If the SEC settlement takes the stock price to let's say $50 or $60, that could trigger the short squeeze up to a certain level. But after that, if there are no major institutional buyings or buyings from retail investors or heavy investing, then there could be a selling pressure again, because we have to understand that there are many day traders also in the market, swing traders also in the market, and even longs. Who knows that some longs are just waiting for $60-$70 price target and they might start selling. Yeah, so we have to consider all these scenarios that might happen, because this is the actual stock market. We predicted many times the Cassava Sciences stock to skyrocket to $100, $120 and this and that. But guys, be realistic. We have to be realistic that there is a huge short seller pressure and selling pressure. People have been waiting for this for years and years, so there might be a limit of patience where they might sell with only 20-30% profit, and they might take out the money, and they don't want this uncertainty in their stock portfolio, and that's why they would book some profits and invest into something else. So we have to get ready for that. Me personally, not selling a single share, so I'm waiting for the rethink, and in fact I am buying more and more. And if you guys would like to know my personal position, I'll make a separate video on that. Okay, so in this last slide I would like to cover two important points. Now, like I mentioned, this $40 million SEC settlement amount is quite important for the stock price. Why? If this amount is higher than $40 million, that will be considered as a bearish event, and trust me, the stock price will plummet. It will drop. But for me, that creates an opportunity. But what I'm trying to tell you guys is that that might be a negative catalyst. Okay, so be ready for that. If it's below $40 million, then that's a positive catalyst for sure. But I still don't think that will event any considerable amount of spike in the stock price. The second point is that if the stock price reaches my upper assumptions of the price target, which is around $500 to $600, then if is the keyword, if Cassava Sciences is planning to go alone or expand alone without any partnerships, okay, then they would need some cash, and that would result in more dilution or a warrant program like it happened before, but I'm not sure yet. But we should be ready for that. But I'm sure that at $400, $500, many people will come out of this stock. But that is something which we have to consider, that dilution might happen. Okay, so these are two of the points, critical points, which we should remember in short term and long term. So that's all, guys. That's all what I wanted to cover in this video, and please use the comment in the comment section down below. The next video would be with Matt, where we are talking about David Burt, how he has manipulated everything related to Cassava Sciences. And if you guys would like to know my position in Cassava Sciences and what I am doing with my position, then please use the comment section. Please don't stop spreading that love. Use the comment section. I love your comments. If you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comment section. I would love to answer them. And like always, guys, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and yeah, keep commenting and keep spreading that love. Until the next video, stay safe, stay healthy, and ciao.